Welcome back to my thoughts video on Digimon Story Time Stranger. And before we get into it, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone for the love on the previous video. It's amazing to see how passionate and welcoming the Digimon community is. You all left some really helpful tips in the comments too. So if you see anything in this video that you think I could learn about, feel free to comment and let me know. I'm sure there'll be something. Alright, let's get started. We arrive in the digital world and decide to run around looking at all the Digimon that are roaming about, living their day to day. It was really cool to see the sheer variety and it got me pretty excited to get them for myself. We do a bit of shopping, gathering new moves for our roster, and when we get to the end of this road, it's here I learn about Digiride. Not only can I have all three of my squad running around with me, I can also have them carry me around. Amazing. So I spent a fair few minutes seeing which ones I could Digiride. I love how there's different ways you can sit on them as well. However, I'm not sure how comfortable this is. Also, I saw a fiery Moltres-mon before, and I can't imagine how that's supposed to work unless you like your sausages cremated. The main story wants us to go and visit Merukimon, who is the leader of this town we are in. So on the shoulder of Mudfrigimon, I don't know if I'm saying that right, we stomp over to his doors. Ahead of us is some kind of tavern where we see even more Digimon. How many actually are there at this point? There's got to be like hundreds easily. We try and enter into Merukimon's room, but we are stopped by Nightmon, who won't let us in unless we prove we are friends with Minervamon. And we don't actually know where they are, so we head out to go and find them. On the way, we see Coronamon getting bullied by two other Digimon who peer pressure him into going into a dangerous place. A dangerous place, you say? Now, what could this area be? It's a sewer. Come on guys, I barely got the stink out of my second top from the last 20 sewer visits you've had me go to. Can we please go somewhere else for Digimon hunting soon? Anyway, we follow them into the sewer and are greeted by more of the same. New Digimon, more grinding opportunities, and with that the ability to Digivolve. And it's here where we finally get to see what we turn our starter Devimon into. We decided to go with Devimon. I obviously have no idea what they look like in advance, so it's always a cool surprise to see what they turn into. Also, it's worth noticing I decided for the most part to just let the Digimon decide their own evolution by not changing their personality. Just a bit of flavour for my run. However, later down the line I will probably begin to change their pathways. So with Devimon and a bunch of converted Digimon, we head to the bottom of the sewers to find that one of the peer pressure mons have been knocked clean out by red, green and blue jacked goblin mons. We decide to go and defeat them, and after a short battle we take them down. Throughout this, Coronamon is too scared to do anything, but after seeing Goat Boy do a little bit of heroic white knighting, he pulls himself together and takes the last hit, kill steals the mobs and claims it was all him. Nice. Oh, also Minervamon appears here as well, so that's two Digibirds with one Digistone. We head back to Merukimon to try and get safe passage back to the human world, but it turns out we can't because their radio tower is broken, and the gatekeeper, Junomon, is the only way for us to get back, and we can't contact them currently, so we decide to help. We jump on the back of Pegasusmon, and they take us over to Central Town. Time to convert more Digimon in the sewer, I guess. It's not a sewer. 10 out of 10 game. We spend time doing the standard procedure, seeing a new Digimon, beating it senseless until it converts to our ever-growing army of small and large animals, and it's here where I saw it. The best Digimon yet. Beemon. Fun Beemon. I had to have it. I'm a bug trainer at heart, so I continued to farm it until I had it, and when I got to the top of this place, I discovered there's also wasps, and bigger wasps. So naturally, I got them too, and it's here where the black and yellow psychosis began to take hold. What if I could have all bees? What's stopping me from having a full team of 3 bees? Nothing. I paid for the game, so I'm becoming what I was always destined to be. A beekeeper. But not before we get the correct attire. It was important that these bees not only trusted me, but also respected me. So I bought the bee outfit on the store. Now I know what you're thinking. But sir, this is not a bee outfit, this is the franchise mascot, Agumon. And to that I say, when was the last time you had your eyes checked? It's yellow and black, it covers my entire body and also has a hood. This is clearly a bee outfit. If you're still disagreeing, I suggest you go to Specsaversmon. We took the bees all the way up to the top of the tower to fix it and then head home. And it's here where we're attacked by, I shit you not, Parrotmon. I remember calling it as it came down as a joke. And when the name is the one I did as a joke, it's always really funny to me. Of course it's Parrotmon. What else could it possibly be? Anyway, go my bees. Take down this avian pretender. We own the skies. We died. Now a lot of people at this point would go, these are 3 rookie level Digimon going up against, and I checked, an ultimate level Digimon. So it's time to switch. But this is simply not an option for me. I believe in the bees and their power. Also, I've spent actual real money on this bee bit, so I really need to make it work. And so it was here I made the very important decision to train these buzzy lads up, but not just 3 buzzy boys, 6. I wanted a whole hive, a completely relentless torrent of stingers, a whirlwind of black and yellow terror. So that's what I did. I converted 6 of them, but we didn't stop there, oh no. After reading all the comments in the previous video, and there were a lot of them, thanks again for that, it was great to chat. I saw a few letting me know that once I get a Digimon to their max level, or as close as possible, I can then in fact Digivolve them down, and then when they're down, level them up to max, and then Digivolve them up back to what they were before, and then this increases their max level, and so began the great bee grind of 2025. I went up and down this lift for about 3 hours, beating up these sky snakes relentlessly. The sky is property of the bees, and you have no place here. After all this grinding up, down and up again, we had a roster of 6 level 20 bees.
Holy shit.
Buzzing. I also took the time to actually buy some equipment and different skills instead of just pressing W and hoping that whatever they had would suffice. No, I made these bees formidable. I also learnt about reversal, which makes a Digimon's type swap, and with Paramon being a vaccine type and the bees being a virus type, they were at a disadvantage. But I am not the man I was 3 hours ago. I am slightly more knowledgeable. Or so I think. So we take our team back up to Paramon for the final showdown. This is it. Revenge. We get into the fight and immediately reverse Paramon, making him now on a typing with us and equally now vulnerable to lightning. The damage seemed small, yes, but the power of a bee is not in a single part, and when the bird struck down a bee, another one simply took its place. And I could see in its ultimate beady eyes that it knew its fate was sealed. A few more carefully placed stings later and my team of rookie bees took down an ultimate parrot. The skies were ours once more. And if you've got this far and you're gonna comment something, put a B in there so I know you know greatness when you see it. We repair the radio tower and Merukimon suggests that it could in fact be the Titans that have attacked the tower. Now I'm not 100% on what these Titans actually are, but I'm sure we will learn more as we go on. So we head back to town and rest, and Goat Boy sends White Knight affirmations up to the sky. The next day we are summoned to Merukimon's chamber where he tells us about another problem that has arisen that will impede our trip to Junomon and thus impedes our way back home. Apparently the factorial area that powers the trains is having some issues, so we agree to go and help. My face when I spend 6 hours editing videos. We head to the front of town and see literally Blimpmon, who gives us a ride over to the factorial area, but on the way he gets attacked and we have to crash land. When we get there we learn that the reason the factorial area is in disarray is because the Titans have seized a portion of it, and because of this they have lost contact with Vulcanusmon, who runs the gaff. So as always we agree to help and begin descending down the factory's spiral walkways to fix the issue. We find a taser that is upset, so we tase it and it jumps back to life, allowing us access to the next areas. We find his friend getting jumped by green men, so we release the bees on them, and to be expected they get completely massacred. The friend joins our team to assist us with operating the machinery, and we continue to traverse the areas, converting Digimon and solving problems with Titans and malfunctioning mechanical Digimons alike. Also we meet this cursed meatball. A really mad design. It's like a biblically accurate golem. After more traversal we get to a large door that is inoperable, but before we can come up with a plan to get through, a massive Hydra appears and tries to take us on. But as before, the hive is unfazed, and regardless of their ability to change what they are resistant to, the bees come out on top. And when is this going to stop being powerful? I think probably never. We then use Hydra's body as a slide to descend further down the complex, and I'm met face to face with Lord Vulcanusmon himself. He doesn't seem too happy that we are interrupting playtime with his Funko Pops and thinks we are actually Titans, so he decides to attack us, but not before Goat Boy can play out his White Knight voice lines he practiced the night before. This fight was pretty fun. Vulcanusmon continuously produces mechanical hands that all have resistances and attacks that we have to carefully plan around and break them down, which reveals his cockpit. It's here we get a chance to do some decent damage to him, and then he makes more hands, same again. It's important to take down at least one of them fast, as if he has them all lined up and undamaged, he will be able to do a special buff, but no matter how much flipping off he does, we take him down. He falls out of his cockpit and accidentally breaks one of his toys, and this is very upsetting to him. I imagine it was limited edition. Anyway, we clear everything up with him and he comes to his senses, revealing he switched off the power to prevent the Titans from using it, but will now put it back on, giving us access to Junimon. So we head back to Central Town. See you later, Volcanusmon. Now, I wasn't going to include any side quests really, as in the previous video I said they aren't really that interesting to me, but I did come across one that I wanted to mention. We find out that some Digimon are afraid of humans, and the premise of this side quest is finding a way to make them trust us. Now, how do we do this? We do it by dressing up as them. Now, I don't know if there's any other costumes you can find up until this point, but is this a paywalled side quest? Or is it one that is only available once you've bought it? I had to point this one out though, because it seemed a little bit sneaky. Anyway, we move on and take Trainmon over to Junimon's temple. We head down an opulent hallway where some pretty serious looking Digimon watch us carefully. Heading through a glowing mirror, we are then greeted by Junimon, who is the Divine Oracle. She lets us know that it was in fact Goat Boy who came out of the special egg and appoints him as Great Guardian. They then tell us a tale about two guardians that kept the digital world in peace, but the Titans attacked them and one of them fought them off, but in doing so was fatally injured, and in his last moments made sure that his will would pass on into another guardian when the Titans decide to come back, which makes sense because the Titans have indeed come back. Junimon then tells us that if we want to get back home, we need to resolve a conflict in a place called the Abyss, because if it isn't sorted out, the problems of the digital world could spill into the human world. And now with Goat Boy being officially declared the Great Guardian, he is obliged to defend the digital world, so we head off to the Abyss. Oh, this is not what I was expecting the Abyss to be actually. This is super chill. We explore around, collecting Digimon and items as usual, until we come to the main camp of this area. The leader lets us know that they have a potential turncoat in the mix and that we have to go and check on them to see what's going on. So we head to their house. Shellmon tells us that they are in fact too unwell to leave the house and it's all a big misunderstanding. We believe them and go and get their ingredients to help them make their medicine. However, there's more they need and we have to go to find Kamemon in town to get it. So we go get Kamemon to get the ingredients and then take it back. At this point, Shellmon seems to trust us and lets us in, and it's here where we find they were in fact harboring a Titan who recently attacked the town but was injured, and the medicine we were getting was to actually help them. Before we can learn much more, there's a knock on the door and we are told that the town is being currently attacked by Titans and people are fleeing. We head out to defend the town, but the damage has already been done. Many Digimon lay lifeless on the floor. A wounded Octomon gives us a rundown confirming it's a Titan attack, so we decide to head back to Shellmon to report. After letting them know what happened, Divermon wakes up and even though he is wounded, vows that because of Shellmon's kindness, he will go back to his boss and make them change their views and stop attacking. He joins our team and Shellmon gives us a conch that apparently will call a friend to take us down to the seabed to speak to this Titan boss. We fight our way through Titans who are attacking the town and reach the conch point. Blowing into it summons a massive whale who then eats us and takes us down to the seabed. This place is super cool. I'm pretty unnerved by the ocean usually and deep water, but this was great. Love the detailless environment. Digimon converting, Digivolutions, the drill never changes and I love that. We see a massive shark in the distance. Now this has to be the boss, but the current is too strong for us to pass and Divermon tells us we'll need Submarimon to get there, so we continue swimming through the depths until we meet with the submarine. This gives us the ability to go against the current and reach the shark. I wonder what he's called. Sharkmon. Of course. Sharkmon tells Divermon to get ready to head back to the surface for another attack on land to finish the Digimon up there off for good. But Divermon explains his situation and asks Sharkmon to reconsider, and for a moment it looks like he actually will. But this was a ruse, and now Sharkmon wants to kill us. But like all enemies before us, they underestimate the bees. The hive is undefeated. He wipes the floor with us. I tried many different options for a while, determined to find a way. But try as I might, the bees couldn't handle the heat from this massive shark, and so, reluctantly, changes had to be made. I headed back to the theatre, opened the farm, and let the bees retire in a nice meadow. I also hung up the bee outfit, as I am no longer fit to represent the hive. But what could possibly be the answer to this shark? What is the secret combination? What could possibly replace the insects? And the answer is simple. bigger insects. We took Kabuterimon, Snymon, Simon, and Kawagamon into the team to put the shark in its place. And that they did. With a combined effort and careful planning on my part, Sharkmon was defeated and he fell back. We return to the surface and visit Shellmon only to find they've gone away, but left a letter for Divamon saying that all the villagers have left, so they went with them to keep making medicines. They also mentioned that they know Divamon is a capable warrior and will never forget their time together. After reading this heartfelt note, the question arose about the state of the village, so it's time to go and see what happened, and then maybe we can finally head back home. Thanks for coming back, everyone. I'm really enjoying my time with this game. The environments and different Digimon are really keeping me hooked. Also, I'm loving the depth of the Digivolution system and the different ways combat can play out. I'll be making a handful more videos of this game covering the entire main story, so hopefully I'll see you next time. Oh, and
if you want to see what happens, you'd better like this video, smash that subscribe button, and turn on notifications.
well, go on. You heard the lady.